Java methods. Java methods. Concentrate. First of all, what is method? What is method? A set of statements to perform an operation. Simple definition. A set of statements to perform an operation. See, a set of statements. Statement means executable unit, a minimal executable unit. A set of statements to perform an operation. Next, methods are also known as functions. Methods are also known as functions. Say in structured programming, example C language, we use functions. Term is function. In that built-in and user-defined. In object-oriented programming, example in Java, we use methods, built-in and user-defined methods. See, purpose same, terminology different. In structured programming, for example in C language, we use functions, built-in functions, user-defined functions. In object-oriented programming, we use methods, built-in methods, user-defined methods. See, methods are also known as functions. Next, in structured programming, example C language. C language is structured programming language. We use functions. Basically functions two types, built-in and user-defined. Next, in object-oriented programming, example Java language. We use methods. Same methods also two types, built-in methods, user-defined methods. Okay, na Sindhu, these three concepts, what is method and methods and functions.
Yes, sir.
Okay, already we discussed types of methods. Basically, we have two types of methods. One is built-in or predefined. Built-in or predefined methods. Next, user-defined methods. Say built-in methods limited, but user-defined methods unlimited. You can create n number of methods. And one more thing, built-in methods, read only. User-defined methods, you can read and write. Built-in method names standard means fixed, but user-defined methods names local. You can use your own names. Suppose ABC as method name, login as method name, register as method name. You can use your own names, but built-in method names standard, fixed. See, first we will discuss user-defined methods. Then we will discuss this one, built-in methods. See, user-defined methods in Java, 10th chapter, user-defined methods in Java. Concentrate. After this chapter, we will discuss built-in methods. Actually, sequence is first built-in, next user-defined. See, we have two types of user-defined methods. Two types of user-defined methods. Functions also, in C language, functions also two types. Functions, subroutines. Here also two types, methods. Method without returning any value, method with returning value. Say, method without returning any value, only performing operation, no returning value. Next, another is performing operation and returning value. Say, performing operation, that is without returning any value. Next, performing operation and returning value, that is another type. See, two types of methods, two types of user-defined methods. Method without returning any value, without returning any value. Next, method with returning value. Method with returning a value. See these two types. First I am taking method without returning any value. See, create a method and calling the method without invoking object. See, generally how to access methods using objects. Object dot method, object dot method, that is method syntax. Object dot method, that is method syntax. See, without invoking object also we can access methods. How? Using static non-access modifier. See, observe. Create a method, create a method and call the method without invoking object. Without invoking object. Observe Selpa. Generally, how to access methods? How to access methods? Suppose string A equal to selenium. See, A dot For example, all these are applicable methods on this object. A dot suppose length, otherwise ends with. Just a minute. SYSO. Observe Silpa. What is the output of this last statement? Boolean result?
True.
True. True. Observe, in this small program, we are using two methods. Okay, both are built in only. User defined also same. We are using two methods in this small program. What are the two methods? What are the two built-in methods in this program? Tell me, Silpa.
A dot ends with.
Ends with.
Is a built-in.
A, what
ends
is
with,
A?
sorry.
A is object, na?
Yeah, object.
A
Ends
is
with
object. Ends with is method. What is the method accessing syntax? Object dot method.
Method.
Object dot method. See, in this last statement, we are accessing that ends with method using object. Next, main also method, na?
Yes.
Here we are not invoking any object, isn't it? Say in this small example, we are accessing two methods. We are calling two methods. One is main method, another is ends with method. Okay, both are built-in methods only. User defined methods also same. Two methods. Main methods without object, main method without object, ends with method with object. See, final conclusion, we can call or access Java methods in two ways. What are the two ways, Silpa?
Java objects you are talking about?
Sindhu, understand the question first. What is Krishna? Println, okay, println also. Println also method, yes. Println also, good. Println also method. Here println method, OUT is object, system is class. Class, object, method. Okay, you concentrate on these two methods, main method and ends with method. Okay. We can access Java methods in two ways, Sindhu. What are the two ways? We can access Java methods in two ways. What are the two ways? One is using object by invoking object. Another way is without object. Getting this point? What about you, Silpa? In two ways we can access or call Java methods. What are the two ways?
The built-in.
How to access Java methods? Two ways. What are the two ways? First way, how we are accessing this main method? With object or without object? Without object. How we are accessing this ends with method? With object or without object?
With object.
With object. Now tell me what are the two ways to access or call methods?
method without returning and
don't confuse. Here returning value or without returning value, that is different concept. How we access objects, how we access methods with object. Sindhu, with object. What about your audio, Sindhu? Don't use messages. Time taking. What about
With object, without object, sir.
with object, without object? Okay, good. Silpa, understand any confusion?
what is it?
With object, without object. Observe here, main method. We are using main method. Purpose of main method is program execution starts from main method. Without object, here we are accessing main method. Next, ends with also method. How we are accessing this ends with object? See, final conclusion, we can access Java methods in two ways. By invoking object, next without invoking object. See, here first create a method and call the method without invoking object. See, syntax. Access modifier, next non-access modifier, next a return type, here method without returning value na. Okay, first we will discuss with returning value. Okay, with returning value. Return type, next method name, next parameters or arguments. Parameters optional. If you don't want to use parameters, use blank parenthesis, open curly braces. Next statements. Every statement should end with a semicolon. Next close curly braces. See. Next calling method. This is creating method. Syntax to create method with returning a value. Syntax to create a method with returning a value. Next, syntax to call the method. Okay, with returning value. Call method, calling. Data type, next variable name, returning value na, we need to store the value into variable equal to method name of values for parameters. Observe the classification. First one, create a method and call the method without invoking object. Without object. See, method with returning value and without invoking object. Method with returning a value and without invoking object. Without object. See, first creating one syntax, next calling syntax. Example. See, before the public method, access modifier, for example, public non-access modifier. Remember static modifier. Sindhu, what is the purpose of static modifier? In Java modifiers chapter we discussed. Using static modifier we can access the method without invoking object. See.
Yes, sir.
Public static next return type int, next method name use small letter, starting letter small letter, add, next arguments or parameters optional. If you don't want to use parameters, use blank parenthesis. If you want to use parameters, you can use by separating with commas. You can use a number of parameters. Suppose I want to use 2 parameters, int a comma int b. Int a comma int b. Next int result, local variable, int a comma int b. Public static int add. See, result equal to a plus b semicolon. Next return is keyword, result semicolon. See, this is one user defined method with returning value and without invoking object. Next call. Program execution starts from main method. Here call the method. Tell me, Silpa, you know the syntax for calling method. Tell me the syntax.
Like data type, int.
Int. For
Variable
example,
name,
variable name x. Int x equal to.
And method name.
Method name. Add of values for parameters.
Value.
Suppose 1, 2, 3,
1,
comma 3, 4, 5. Semicolon. It adds the 2 numbers. See. Run. See 468. Then observe Arti. Here we are using any object.
Yeah, yes, sir.
For calling this method. For calling this method, we are using any
No.
object.
No.
No object. This is the example. Next, same with returning value with invoking object. This time invoking object. See, this is A, B. Create a method and call the method with the invoking object. First, syntax. Syntax for creating method. Access modifier. Access modifier. Here, static not required. Static modifier purpose is using static modifier we can access the method without invoking object. Observe, in main method also we used static. In user defined method also we used static. Main is built-in method. For accessing this built-in method without object we used static non-access modifier. Next, add is user defined method. For accessing this user defined method we used static modifier without object. This time with object. Access modifier. Next, data type. Access modifier. This is return type. Actual where I used return type only. A return type. Next, method name. Method name. Parameters optional. Parameters. Open curly braces. Statements. Close curly braces. Next, syntax for calling method. Syntax to call the method. Syntax to call the method. You know how to call object dot method of values optional. Values. First, create object. Create object. How to create object? Say, observe the syntax. Class name. Class name. Next, object name. Object name your own. Next, new keyword. Class name parenthesis semicolon. So I will provide the example. After discussing example you can get more clarity. See, example. Suppose int static, remove this one. Multiply. Multiply is method name. Int a comma b comma int c. Next, same int result. Result equal to a hash c. This is a star symbol. Multiplication symbol c. Next, create object Sindhu. create object in this class. How to create object name you can use any name, any meaningful name. Tell me, create object. What is the syntax for creating object? Class name. What is the class name in this scenario? Class 1,
Class 1.
comma object name. Suppose object name ABC
ABC.
equal to new
New.
class name parenthesis semicolon. Next, you can access that method. ABC dot, what is our method name? Multiply. Type M. Here multiply is there now. Populated.
Yes, sir.
A value 10, B value 5, C value suppose 7, semicolon. If you want to print this value, run, say output 350. Observe, in this scenario we are accessing object using object. You are accessing method. We are accessing user defined method by invoking object. The previous example without invoking object. Okay na Sindhu? Any confusion?
No, sir.
Say next. Method without returning any value. Second type. First type method with returning value. Second type method without returning any value. Without returning any value. First, here also two types. Create a method and call the method without invoking object. Create a method and call the method without invoking object. First, creating syntax. Access modifier, next non-access modifier, next return type nothing, next method name, next parameters optional. Open curly braces, next statements, close curly braces. Calling same. Next, another type. Oh, just a minute. Create a method and call the method with invoking object. Syntax. Access modifier, access modifier. Next, return type nothing, method name, parameters optional, open curly braces, statements, close curly braces. Example. See, I will cover these two types in single example. Concentrate. First, a method with invoking object. Without invoking object. Method without invoking object. Method without invoking object. See, public static here return type nothing. Nothing means void. Void means return type nothing. Suppose method name student rank, argument int marks, open curly braces. Here I am using on condition if marks greater than suppose marks greater than or equal to 600, open curly braces, message rank A. Else if just a minute, marks greater than or equal to 500, then rank B. Next, else open curly braces, if here for else no condition, rank C. See, this is one method. Next, by invoking object, public void, no static modifier. Okay, I will give the example separately, otherwise you will confuse. First example, call this method. How to call, you know? Suppose, what is the method name? Student rank. Without invoking object, you can call student rank of value, suppose 670. Run. Observe Silpa, it is showing rank 1 now. rank A.
Yes, sir.
Suppose
Yeah.
570, rank B. See, it is returning or not returning? Not returning. See, this display statement available in method only. The previous example, returning a value example, no display statement in that method. We used return keyword. Here no return keyword. 570, rank B. Suppose 470, rank C. See, this is one example. Here we didn't use object. We didn't use object. Next, use object. Example 2. Use object. Remove the static modifier. Static modifier. Same example. Just a minute. Say, we will create one more method. Okay, this method is enough. How to access this one? Object required. Create object. Create object only if you are Arti. Create object. Create object in this class.
Int.
Int. For creating object, why data type? Why data type for creating object?
Class name. Okay, class name.
Class name. Here, what is the class name? Class 1.
Yeah, class 1 object name. So maybe
Suppose obj equal to new
new class name.
class name parenthesis. Okay, na? And one more thing, I will create one more method also. Say in this method, student rank, we used argument. Without argument also we can create methods. How? Suppose one more method, public void xyz. This is method name. No arguments, blank parenthesis. Suppose uh, 10 plus 20. Just example. Next, call those two methods obj dot first method name student rank. Type yes, select student rank, enter marks. Suppose 800. Expected output rank A. Next, call another method obj dot, what is that method name? xyz. Type x, select xyz. Here expected output 30. Run. See rank A 30. Say in this class we created two methods. By invoking object only we are accessing. Say conclusion. I will show one more example. Calling methods calling methods from subclass. See, reusing methods. Reusing. Create one more class. Create one more class. Actually, it is oops concept. Okay. New class. Class name, for example, class 2. I want to access methods from class 1. Inherit means reuse using extends keyword. Extends class 1. Next, create object in this class. Class 2 ABC equal to new class 2 capital letter. Next, access methods from superclass. ABC dot type yes student rank 560. Next, ABC dot add, what is that method name? Not, what is that method name? Second method name. Method name XYZ. XYZ. ABC dot type X, select XYZ. Run the program. Class 2. See rank B Java. This is accessing methods from superclass. Superclass. Reusing. Earlier, same class, home class. This time from subclass. See, final conclusion. Say I will provide the structure. Observe. First, Java methods. Observe the structure. Under Java methods, we have two types of methods. One is built-in methods or predefined methods. Another is user-defined methods. User-defined methods. Next, user-defined methods. Sindhu, again two types. User-defined methods, two types. Okay, first remove this one, built-in methods.
Yes, sir.
Under
Method
Java
without-
method, just a minute. Under Java methods, one of the type user-defined. User-defined two types. What are the two types?
Method without returning any value, method returning value.
Okay. Method, first method with returning value. First we discussed that one. Method with returning a value. Next, another is method
Method without returning value.
without returning value. Without returning value. Okay, without returning value. Okay. Next, in first one, in two ways we can access methods. What are the two ways?
Create a method and call the method.
Only calling. I am asking only calling. Call the method. Call the method without 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 invoking object. Next, call the method with invoking object. With invoking object. Next, second one also same. Second one also same. Observe Silpa. Observe this root. First Java methods. Java methods two types. One is, okay, avoid the confusion. One is built-in methods. Another is user defined. Under user defined, one is method with returning value, method without returning value. Under with returning value, call method without object with object. Next in second one also with object without object. Okay na?
Yes, sir.
See, I think calling methods. Calling methods we discussed nearly 6 types. Observe. Calling methods. See, conclusion. Okay, creating methods. Forget about creating methods, calling methods. First, calling a method with returning a value with returning a value and without invoking object. This is one usage. This is one usage. Calling a method, okay, calling the method with returning a value and without object. Next, calling the method with returning a value with invoking object. Next, continue Silpa. Suppose calling the method without returning.
From another class?
No, that is the last one. Calling the method without returning. Here with returning. First two with returning values. Second two with returning without returning value, invoking object one. Next, calling the method with return without returning value. Next, with invoking object. See, 4 types of usage. Next, calling an external method means from subclass. Calling an external method without invoking object. Without invoking object. Next, calling external method with invoking object. Observe the second class point of view. The student rank method is external method, but here both are without invoking with invoking object. For example, I am changing this one, static. Class 2 without object. Suppose int a equal to xyz. What is the problem? The data is observe Silpa problem. Gayatri, public static void means no data type, na, no return type. Println xyz. Observe Arti, calling method, calling external method without object.
Yes, sir.
Just a minute. In the home class, public static void, na, suppose xyz. Oi. Public static void. Observe Arti, problem happened. I want to access static method. Any syntax error? Public static void. Earlier we used not that same one without invoking object.
Yeah.
Without invoking object. Just a minute. Where we used public static void. Just method name. Just method name. Okay. Run. See. Next in this class, subclass. Run. See rank B30. Observe Sindhu. Krishna Chaitanya. Observe the student rank. This method is a external method na,
Yes, sir.
created in superclass. External method. What about XYZ? XYZ also external method na?
Yes.
XYZ also external method. Okay. How we are accessing these methods? First, student rank method using object by invoking object. See, accessing external method by invoking object. Second one, selected one,
Without invoking object.
without invoking object. This is also external method. See, accessing or calling external method without invoking object. See, just a minute. This is super class. Super class. In this super class, we created two objects. Two methods. One is static method, another is non-static method. Using object, we can access non-static method. Without invoking object, we can access static method. Next, subclass. Just accessing. Okay, now Silpa, tell me calling methods. Six flavors we discussed. What are those six flavors?
Calling the method with returning value and invoking object.
Calling
And
method with returning value by invoking object. That is one usage. Next.
And calling the method with returning value without the invoking object.
Next, third one.
And without returning the value, and with invoking the object. And with returning a value without invoking object.
Next.
And calling an external method with invoking object. And calling an external method without invoking object.
Okay. See, final conclusion. In two ways we can access Java methods. What are the two ways? By invoking object or without invoking object. Isn't it? Sindhu, okay na? User defined methods.
Yes, sir.
See, next, two more concepts also there in this chapter. Simple concepts. Method. Actually, this concept we will use in whoops concept. Whoops. Okay. Related concept na. First I will explain in this chapter. Again we will use these two concepts, method overloading and method overriding in whoops. Method overloading. Method overloading. Say, what is method overloading? What is method overloading? If two or more methods with same name but with different parameters, if two or more methods with same name but with different parameters, observe. If two or more methods with same name but different parameters. If two or more methods with same name but different parameters. See, method overloading. here two types. By changing different number of parameters. Here two types. Different number of parameters, different number of parameters, the different number of parameters, or different data types, or different data types. Different data types. Arti, what are the four fundamentals of OOPS? Inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction, and encapsulation. We use method overloading and method overriding concepts in polymorphism. Okay, again we will discuss this concept in polymorphism. First I will explain concept with example. Later just reference, I will take reference. First, by changing different number of parameters. By changing different number of parameters. Second one, by changing data types. By changing data types. Observe. First one, by changing number of parameters. Example, first method. Suppose int add, say I am returning methods in short way. Add is method name, int a comma int b. Next, same method name, int add int a int b int c. Observe Krishna, these method names same na, but what is the difference? How to differentiate these two methods?
Number of arguments are different.
Yes, number of arguments. Just a minute, I will show. First create one method. Suppose without invoking object, public static, next return type int, method name add, next parameters or arguments int a, int b, open curly braces, next local variable int result, next result equal to, for example, a plus b. A plus b, return result. Return result. Next, with same name another method. int a, int b, comma, int c. Next, call without invoking object. For example, int ax equal to add of, if we use two parameters, it will access this first method. If we use three parameters, it will access the second method. See here, methods are overloading, but different in number of parameters. Suppose 5 comma.
Sir, line 12. Line 12, don't you need the a plus b plus c?
Yes.
Line 12,
Okay.
result equal to...
Yes, good. I forgot that one. Semicolon. Next, for example, int y equal to add of 5 comma 10 comma 20. X y. First output 15, second output 35. Run the program. Errors. Where? Observe Arthi. Where errors? Class 2 we removed na. Okay, 1535. This is example for method overloading. Method overloading. Next, one more way, by changing data types. Suppose parameters, number of parameters same. See, in this previous example, first add method 2 parameters, second add method 3 parameters. Next, parameters, number of parameters same, but data types different. See, 2 parameters only. Next time we will use another data type. Suppose double. What is the problem? Here also double. Result equal to a plus b. Add cast to int. Oh. Oh, 1.234, 2.456. Observe Sindhu. First method name add. Second method, same name, add only. Next, number of parameters. In first method, 2 parameters, AB. In second method also 2 parameters, AB. Then what is the difference?
Double, int and double.
Data types.
Data types.
Data types.
Data types.
Just a minute. Run. See 15 first output, second output 3.69. See, this is another example. By changing data types. See, this is method overloading. Silpa, what is method overloading? What is method overloading?
If two or more methods with the same name but with different parameters.
In two ways we can achieve method overloading. What are the two ways? One is
by changing the number of parameters.
Different number of parameters. Next, another way.
And by changing data types.
Data types. Next, before the break, one more small concept. Method overriding. See, this is method overloading. Next, method overriding. Method overriding. What is method overriding? If two methods with same name and the same number of parameters available in superclass and subclass, then we call those two methods are overridden. See, observe. If two methods with the same name and same number of parameters available in superclass and subclass, then we call those two methods are overridden. Observe the example. Suppose with invoking object public just a minute. Public int add open curly braces. Just a minute. Public int add, declare two variables, int a equal to 10 comma b equal to 20 semicolon. Next, int result. Next, result equal to a plus b. Return result. Okay. Next, one more class. suppose class 2. See, in this class 2 also same method, same number of arguments, data type also same. For example, 100, 200. The first one, suppose 10, 20. Second one, forget about these variable values. Observe the method. First reuse class 2 extends class 1. Now class 1 is superclass, class 2 is subclass. In the superclass and subclass, same method name. Add is method name. Next, here no arguments we used. Method name same. I want to access this method. Create object in this class. Class 2. Suppose obj equal to new class 2 semicolon. Obj dot type add. See here, these add methods are overriding. Why? Add method available in superclass and subclass. Superclass and subclass. Just a minute. Class 2. Oh, we are not storing the value now. Suppose int x equal to observe Sindhu. Here add methods overriding the superclass and subclass, same methods available, methods overriding. Now tell me the output. If I execute this, if I access this add method, what is the output?
300.
300. Okay. First preference goes to home class. Class 2. 300. Suppose you comment this one. Add block comment. Now what is the output? Sindhu, what is the output?
Same 300.
300. No. This method commented na.
Okay.
Aarti.
I think it's 30.
30.
And a class.
Say in this class method not available. So then it goes to superclass. Superclass as per superclass values 30. Run. What is the error? Just a minute. Extends class 1. Public int add. What is the problem, Aarti? Identify the problem. Static class members.
It doesn't have a main method in the class 1.
Class 1, we are not executing class 1 na. Class 2 only. We are executing class 2 only na.
Yeah.
What is the problem? Static variables. Just a minute. Just a minute. See if it is a local variable. Problem is there. Oh, just a minute. I will show. What is the problem in X? Observe Arti, what is the problem? Already add method is there now.
Is it line 11 has to do something, sir? Class 2 object equal to new class 2?
Class 2, okay. New class 2. Earlier we used the same now.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Earlier executed. Why this time? Suppose this is one method, superclass, subclass. The subclass also same method. Why it is showing this one? I just removed this one. Overridden. Obj dot add. Still error. 300. Suppose run 30. Observe Sindhu. Just a minute. Remove uncomment. We are accessing this method na. Add method. First priority add method available in home class and super class. Super class also. Just a minute. This is super class. This is subclass. We are accessing that method. Here add methods are overridden. This time first priority local class. Output 300. 300. Next, suppose this method comment. This time if you access this one in the home class, no such method na, then it will access
sir.
from super class.
Super class.
Super class. Run class 2. 30 na?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Just a minute. Uncomment. I will show one more flavor also. This is class 1. Method overridden. Next. Class 2. Okay. Okay. Another flavor. Observe Silpa. I want to access add method from home class. Okay, create object and call the method. Okay. Next, I want to access same add method from super class. Then how to access? I'm not commenting add method in home class. Now I want to access same add method from super class. You tell me, Aarti. I want to access same add method from super class. Then create object using super class name. See, class 1 obj2 equal to new class 1 obj2 run. Observe Silpa. Now we are accessing two methods na, add methods.
Yes, sir.
How we are accessing? Here we are accessing same methods. We created two objects na.
Two objects, yes.
First object using home class, second object using super class. Isn't
super class.
Super class. This is another